Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Exigent Sports. Thank you guys for all tuning in. As always, we have a great show on for you. I want to give a shout out to Coach Spanky. He did something to hurt himself, so he can't make it in the studio, but we are going to give him a call. Coach Spanky will be on the line today. Got Coach Guy from Grace. He's going to be here today. And we have some regional champs in. First time ever you're witnessing a lacrosse team here on Exigent Sports. You know we do them all. We love them all, but this is the first of the first. I have Coach Cole on. She's brought some of her players with us. We have Tess, we have Ransley, and we also have Kendall also in the building today. And first and foremost, Coach Cole, thank you for joining the show.
Thank you for inviting us.
And congratulations on that regional championship.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is it soaked in yet? Are you ready to move on?
A little bit, yeah. We're moving on. We're prepping for our semifinal game tomorrow night against Cookeville. So we're just trying to stay focused and not get too ahead of ourselves and stay too high. So kind of keep them grounded a little bit and just prep for the big game tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Look, big game tomorrow night. This game will project them on to the state championship. And Coach Cole brought her and a couple of her student athletes here to join us on the show on a Wednesday. How about that?
How about that?
How about that? So tell us, lacrosse, how long has it been a TSSAA sport for Bearden?
First year.
First year.
Inaugural year for every school in the state of Tennessee. And this is Bearden's third year of having a team. So we were a club team for 2 years and then elevated to TSSAA sanction this year.
Wow. So you said we anticipate that you've been the coach.
I've been the coach. This is my second year coaching. And
Wow.
I was an assistant coach the first year.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got the call to take the head coach position.
Yes.
What went through your mind and how did you say yes?
Well, one of the coaches had to step away, so called and asked if I would take over, and I'd coached up in Michigan years ago. So I coached the high school team up there, and just when he asked me, I was excited because a lot of the girls I had coached, like the three we have on today, I've been coaching since they were in middle school. So I was just excited to kind of take over the team and get the program up and running.
Wow, excellent. So lacrosse is not well known in the state of Tennessee yet. You're going to change that, right?
Hopefully.
So let's give us a little bit of background on who is Coach Cole, where did you come from, and where did you get your love for the game of lacrosse?
So I grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Go Eagles?
I like the Eagles. I like all the Philly teams. And I played basketball, softball, field hockey, and then some lacrosse. And then when I went to college, I was at the University of Michigan, and I played club lacrosse there for 4 years. Pretty competitive because at the time there weren't a ton of lacrosse teams, especially in the Midwest. So I played there 4 years and then played a little bit at Michigan State while I was working on my PhD. And then once I was done, and got a real job, I was working. And then one day my husband said, my high school needs a lacrosse coach. I told him you could do it. So I helped get a team up and running up in Michigan and was there for 3 years. Then we moved down here.
Wow.
And then tried to get my daughter into it for years. She there was some pushback, but we finally got her in, and then started helping with the middle school, and then now on the high school level.
Absolutely. That's pretty awesome. So you mentioned you was a multi-sport player. What was the favorite sport?
The favorite sport was softball.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked all of them, and I did spend a lot of time playing basketball, but it is probably softball.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you get a scholarship to go play ball in college?
Nope.
So it was just straight education for you?
It was straight education,
And you decided Michigan?
Yes.
The Wolverines.
The Wolverines, yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, this show gives insight to the parents and the players, student athletes. What does it take to bridge the gap from one level to the next? If you can tell the folks at home, what would it take to bridge the gap from high school to college? as a student and an athlete, especially in lacrosse?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's going to take up all your time. So, my parents always told me it's academics first, and then you play lacrosse in your free time. So it was up to me to manage my time, get to work academically, and then also work on my sport. So I was able to do that. Graduated 4 years and went on to grad school. But I think nowadays it's a little bit harder for athletes. Everything seems to be more demanding. There's a lot more going on. So we start our season off with time management class. So one of the advisors, Coach Tanner at Bearden, he runs a time management class for us because I said, you have to come to class and you have to go to class and you have to come to practice. Mm-hmm. So you need to make sure you get everything done. And so I think that's one of the biggest things is showing them early how to manage their time and then also be able to be an adult and compete as an athlete.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like you have a few athletes here. One of them named Kendall Cole. Would that happen to be your daughter?
That is my daughter. Absolutely.
Junior at Bearden High School. And she's on the bench. Tell us a little bit about Kendall before we take it to the bench.
Kendall started playing lacrosse in middle school. I was hesitant when I wanted her to play early on. She started, loved it. It took a little bit for us to kind of work well together, coaching and being an athlete, but, I'm coached on to her. She didn't call me mom. She gets it as much as anyone else, probably a little worse. Mm-hmm. But, I stay on her. She works hard. She's a good student. Doing well in school and doing well in lacrosse.
Absolutely. Well, let's take it to the bench. Let's meet Miss Kendall Cole. Hello, Kendall. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for joining Exigent Sports. Congratulations on your regional championship.
Thank you.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, I just heard that you got a reward this year. What was that?
I made All-Region, which is just a group of girls that were selected just based off of how they play and their stats. And that's my first time getting it, so I felt really accomplished because of that.
Absolutely. So you're a junior. You're going to be a rising senior next year. Do you plan to continue to play lacrosse?
Yeah, so next year I plan to play lacrosse. I don't know if I'll play in college, but I will keep my mind open to that, but I'm still on the fence about playing in college, but I definitely will continue to play next year.
Is there any other sports that you play?
Yeah, we started a flag football team this year, Bearden did, and so I played that, which is a really fun, it's just a fun, other sport to do. I wasn't the best at it, but it was fun to just play, but obviously lacrosse is my main sport.
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned that you don't know what you want to do as far as playing lacrosse when you go to college, but that tells me that you are interested in going to college. If you go to college, and when you go to college, what is it that you want to do?
I want to major in marketing and minor in sport management, so I can kind of get into marketing, but for sports teams specifically, because I've always been interested in sports my whole life.
Wow. Do you have a Pacific State that you want to go to, a school?
I'm thinking UT, just because it's close to home, and since my mom is a professor there, she does get a discount, so I think that would be a good place for me to go.
Well, absolutely. Now, if you do land that marketing job, I will tell you there's a lot of big opportunities in Texas for marketing. All right, just throwing that out there.
Yeah,
okay.
Good to know.
So after you get done with UT, you can go a little bit farther south and make a lot of money doing marketing. Marketing is a great career to be in. I'm actually the marketing director for OEB Law. I enjoy it. It's a lot of work. I don't not work, and when I'm off work, I'm still working. It's nonstop, but it definitely can be rewarding for you. So, and then you said you wanted to do a minor, and it was at business or no, sports management.
Sport management, yeah.
Okay, sweet. Mm-hmm. So, flag football and lacrosse. Mm-hmm. You got to tell coach you only can pick one. Which would it be?
I would pick lacrosse. Flag football was just kind of, since it's a new sport, I think since I've already been a part of an inaugural team, lacrosse, I feel like I kind of wanted to be part of this team too, to help grow the sport. and all of my friends were doing it. So it's fun to play a sport with all of my really good friends because none of them really play lacrosse. So I think it was fun to do that and bond with my friends during that and have good coaching there, and then also have like good coaching and be with another group of people, like my teammates, during lacrosse. But I definitely play lacrosse over flag football.
Absolutely. So you're going to be a senior next year. You have to lead the pack. What is it that you will do to help the rising freshmen, the rising sophomores and juniors fall into the Bearden way of lacrosse?
I think just encouraging everyone to play the best they can and always be focused during practices, and especially in preseason. A lot of the time we kind of struggle with focusing or doing stuff outside of practices, which is really important. Doing wall ball is probably one of the most important things a lacrosse player can do. So I think just motivating my teammates to do stuff outside of practice and also having a good attitude inside of practice is going to be the best way to have a good season.
And will you be a leader by vocal, or you just, or both, or actions and vocal?
I think I'm a little bit of both. I'll do something first, or do something to lead by example. But if people are not following, I do kind of get more vocal just to hold people accountable when our coaches are trying to talk and then they're talking over them. I think accountability is really important on teams, and I hold people accountable, and I also hope that they hold me accountable.
Well, your mother said that you was a good student. What's your GPA?
I have a 4.0 GPA.
Yay. Coach Cole, this is what this show is about, right? Mm-hmm. I love student athletes, and I don't care what gender, what sport, what age. It doesn't matter to me. But I want to give insight and help them and give them advice. But the best guests on my show are the ones that have those great grades, right? Mm-hmm. Because that's what matters. I don't care what sport you play. I don't care how great you are. It's going to end. Mm-hmm. So what do you do after that? So that's pretty awesome. So what would you tell a young student athlete that's interested in lacrosse today to be a part?
I would tell them that they just kind of have to stay committed to the team and prioritize lacrosse over other social events, because obviously being social in high school is really important, but they do have to prioritize lacrosse over that, but most importantly prioritize school and manage their time well. I feel like I've kind of struggled with that last semester because I had a pretty tough schedule last semester, but this semester I feel like I've balanced my workload pretty well and I had opportunities to go to practice and do that and put lacrosse first because my classes were not as rigorous this year.
Wow. Kendall Cole on the bench. The bench is brought to you by Carnes Motor Company, and what a well-spoken young lady. That is great. So I can tell she does well in school because she speaks well, and I see the leadership qualities in her. So that's pretty awesome. Kendall, thank you so much for showing up to the show. Guys, we have more stars in the building, but you have to wait about 120 seconds. We have to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Commercial Metals Company. Turn that scrap into cash.
In our community, everyone deserves access to quality health care. At the Free Medical Clinic, we offer no-charge medical services to those without insurance. There is never a bill at the Free Medical Clinic. From primary care, preventative care, diagnostics, and specialty care, our dedicated team is here to help. The Free Medical Clinic, taking your fear away from becoming sick or hurt. Go to fmcor.org to become a patient. Remember, there's never a charge for your care. fmcor.org.
Feeling overwhelmed with your business finances? At P&L Business Services, we handle all your bookkeeping, payroll, and tax needs. From federal tax returns to QuickBooks training, we've got you covered. With over 25 years of experience, we provide customized packages to fit your business. Focus on what you love most, building your business. Let us take care of the rest. Call 865-294-4792. P&L Business Services, empowering you to grow your business.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is XL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
Welcome back, guys. This show is brought to you by Trinity Home Care and Consulting. Trinity Home Care and Consulting is an in-home caregiving specializing in EEOICP, the White Card program. If you worked at DOE plants and have illness or issues related to your employment, you could be eligible for financial benefits as well as medical benefits, including in-home care and nursing care. Trinity can help with every step of the process, also accepting new clients that already have services. If you have services and aren't satisfied for any reason, give the team a personal try, okay? Locally owned and operated here in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and we thank Trinity Home Care and Consulting Services for bringing you this show. All right, on set, we are ready to go. We have Tess, senior at Bearden High School. Go Dogs.
Yeah, go Dogs.
Go
Yes.
Scoot up to the mic.
Okay.
They want to hear you. Go Dogs. Senior in high school, lacrosse, all region.
Yeah.
Also got all region.
Yeah.
Now, in the commercial break, you told me prior to going to Bearden, you went to Hardin Valley, and the transition has been absolutely wonderful for you.
Yeah, I love Bearden. Like, I think all the teachers are great, and like, I love our team too. So.
Who's your favorite teacher?
Oh.
You're on the spot.
Probably Miss Shore was my favorite teacher.
And what does she teach?
Biology.
Okay. So, do you like biology?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
You do? Is that something you were majoring in college?
Yeah, I'm majoring in environmental science right now.
Really? Absolutely. Why? You know, what gravitated you to that?
I've just always been really interested in, like, I don't know, preserving our environment and stuff, so, and sustainability and stuff. So. Yeah,
absolutely. So you're gonna be the next mayor.
I don't know. My public speaking skills would probably have to get a little bit better.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
So far, so good. You're good. So lacrosse. Coach said you guys have played for a little while now.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you played lacrosse?
Since middle school, probably. Yeah, since like 6th grade.
Because it's not very known in this area yet. You guys are making it known.
Yeah.
What was it? How did you get involved? Why? Where? How?
My dad is from New York, so he played lacrosse in college too. So when we were like in middle school, he tried to put us on a team and stuff. So.
Oh wow! So what college did your dad play for?
Roanoke.
Roanoke. Dad, I need you in the studio. I need all former college players that had bridged the gap from high school to college and played a sport in the studio. Dad, can we make that happen? Let's go, Pops. All right, so make sure you get them on the show. You can make that happen, right?
Yeah.
Because this show, we got to give insight on what it takes, right? And right now, you're a senior at high school. You have to make a decision to go to college. Would you play lacrosse in college?
I'm planning on going to UT, so they have a club team, and I'll probably just play club. But
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Wow, so you have your major ready, you have a sport ready. You play any other sports outside of lacrosse?
No.
No, that's it?
No, yeah, that's
True
it.
love and passion for lacrosse.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. What's it like playing with Coach Co?
It's so good. She's such a good coach. I love Coach Dawn. She's great. So.
Well, I tell you what, I watched your guys' hype highlight. And I actually shared it, I believe, on my TikTok, Exigent News TikTok. And at the end, she was speaking to everybody, and just really, you guys were glued in, and you took her serious. but it also made you smile and laugh. That shows the unity that you guys have. How many players are on the team?
I think like 40, like a ton. Like it's a pretty big team.
Yeah, how many players can play at one time?
11.
So it's 11 on the field?
Not counting, yeah.
Okay, wow. So you guys have gained a big interest in lacrosse that's brought out 40 to 50 young ladies, right, to play. What do you do to lead?
I feel like I lead mostly by example. I'm not very vocal, but I always try really hard and like just try to do like all the extra stuff too, just like so it becomes the normal for everyone to do it too.
Yeah. So what would you tell a young student athlete that may be interested in playing a sport like lacrosse?
Try hard and have fun with it. Like do something you really like to do, because then it doesn't feel like you're like, oh, I have to go to practice, because it's exciting to go. So.
Wow, I love it. I love it. So on the bench we have Ransley.
Yeah.
Before we take it to the bench, tell me a little bit about Ransley.
She's a senior too. She plays attack, and she's all region too. So.
All right, well, let's take it to the bench. Hello, Ransley. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And you play attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell my kids and dog to do that every day. So tell me what that entails for a lacrosse player. What is attack? What is that position?
So for attack, we are the offense. We stay behind the restraining line on the other side at the 30, but we get the ball from the defense. We take it down. We're kind of midfield is the middle person, and we're down there for offense to get the ball to the goal.
Wow. That sounds pretty fun. I think I want to play attack. If I play lacrosse, sign me up for the attack position. So how did you get involved with lacrosse?
I played softball for a really long time, and then I ended up getting injured, and so I just kind of wanted another sport to try, and some of my friends did it, so I was like, why not? I'll just try it.
Cool. So softball, lacrosse, any other sports?
I did cross country for a little bit. I still run pretty regularly, but yeah, that's about it.
Good, sweet. So do you have plans to play at the collegiate level?
I might play club, but I want to try some other sports at UT as well. 3
UT students? Shut the front door. Go Vols. Let's sing Rocky Top together. Wow. So what do you want to major in once you get there?
I'm hoping to double major in supply chain management and sustainability, and then maybe minor in costume design, but that's like a big maybe.
Okay, so let's go back to double major, right? Because I want you to say it again. But before you say it again, folks at home, I've never had anyone on the show say double major. I mean, that's like double the work, in my opinion. When I went to college, I had a major and a minor, and that was enough. So tell me what the double major is and why.
The double major is supply chain management and sustainability, and it's kind of recent that I decided I wanted to do this. For a really long time, I was into the medical side. I did literally every medical class at Bearden, and I kind of just like, I like anatomy, but I hate chemistry, I hate biology, I hate physics. I was like, this is not going to work for me for very long. So I really like sustainability, and I feel like that will go really well with supply chain. So that's just kind of what I ended up going with.
Wow. Well, I love it. I love it. Already applied?
Yes.
Already accepted?
Yes.
Let's sing Rocky Top. I can't wait. I'm excited. I really am. So, and you plan on playing club ball there as well?
Possibly. I'm definitely going to do the water skiing and wakeboarding club, but lacrosse is like the number 2 that I will probably try it out, but I'm definitely doing water skiing.
Wow. Awesome. So you love the water?
Mm-hmm.
If there was something about you that someone may not know, your average fan, your friend, what is it about you that someone may not know?
I've played piano for like 12 years.
Wow. So can you read the notes, or do you just play by ear?
Oh, no, I cannot play by ear. I read the notes.
The only reason why I ask, because every time I see a piano, I play it. But the notes look like a different language, but I can hear and I can just play tunes, when I hear it. So that's pretty cool. You're blessed because I can't read the notes. So shout out to you. That's pretty cool. So what would you tell a young student athlete that is interested in playing a sport, possibly lacrosse?
I would just say, just try it. Like, I mean, what else are you going to do? Just go try a sport, and if you hate it, you don't have to play. But, I mean, that's where all my friends play lacrosse, and I probably would have a much worse time in high school if I wasn't playing lacrosse. So.
Yeah. So what's your GPA?
Like a 3.91, maybe.
Wow. So books are first.
Yeah.
Books are first. I'm super proud of you girls. I really am. Super. Tess, what is your GPA?
4.0.
4.0, 3.9, 4.0. I mean, this is what this is about. No one can bridge the gap without the grades, you know. So first and foremost, student athletes out there, no matter what you want to do and achieve, it starts in school, right? A lot of you don't even have to work like some of us did when we was in high school. But your job is to work at school. Put in all the work and all the effort at school. That is your job, and that's going to help you bridge the gap to take it to the next level. So, Ransley, tell me, what is it like playing for Coach Cole?
I think it's awesome. She's a great coach. I mean, I feel like she disciplines us, but we have a great time. I never feel like I can't talk to her about anything. But, yeah, I just enjoy her a lot.
Sweet. Who scored the most points?
Like
on the team.
Yeah, Madeline.
Who is it?
Madeline, our other all-region player.
Shout out to Madeline. Our region didn't make it here today. Has scored the most points for Bearden. What about here? Who scored the most points here? Attack. What position does Madeline play?
Midfield.
Midfield. So that's not attack. But it's around attack.
Yeah, it's like you play defense and attack if you're on midfield.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, wow. And what grade is she in?
She's a sophomore.
Sophomore.
Yeah.
Madeline, I got to have you on the show. Come join the show. We want to meet you. We got to have Pops on the show. We want to meet him. So let's make that work. I love it. What do you want to, Ransley, what do you want to tell the people at Bearden to make sure that they're coming out and support you guys?
Lacrosse is way more fun than everything else, and that football is not as much fun. Come to lacrosse.
Where's that game at?
Bearden.
So the game versus Cookville's at Bearden?
Yeah.
And it's tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. At 7.
At 7 o'clock. Shut the front door. I might bring the camera out.
Yeah.
I might bring the camera out. Guys, you have met some all-region super student athletes from Bearden and Coach Don Cole right here on Exigent Sports. Nobody else is doing lacrosse but Exigent Sports, and we're going to continue to follow that trend. We will have them back on. We're going to get Pops on. We're going to get Madeline on, and we're going to continue this trend. Shout out to Bearden and all the other schools that are out there that's playing lacrosse. It is not well known, but Coach Don Cole says she's going to make a difference. We have to take a break, but we'll be right back.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris. Experience suspension.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Every woman deserves compassionate, quality care, no matter her income. The Free Medical Clinic provides free, comprehensive women's health, including mammograms, annual physicals, and pap smears, and includes an entire suite of primary and preventative care services, all at no charge. The Free Medical Clinic is providing peace of mind to the women who make our homes and businesses work. We keep you healthy. Go to fmcor.org. Because every woman deserves peace of mind knowing she has the medical care she needs, even if she can't afford it. fmcor.org.
Feeling overwhelmed with your business finances? At P&L Business Services, we handle all your bookkeeping, payroll, and tax needs. From federal tax returns to QuickBooks training, we've got you covered. With over 25 years of experience, we provide customized packages to fit your business. Focus on what you love most, building your business. Let us take care of the rest. Call 865-294-4792. P&L Business Services, empowering you to grow your business.
No matter what you're up against, we have your back.
We are United Way.
We are neighbors helping neighbors.
In communities around the world, when disaster strikes, we get you back on your feet.
We help children build brighter futures.
We've been here for over 135 years.
But now, our work is more important than ever.
Join us.
Join your neighbors.
Join United Way.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Commercial Metals Company. Turn that scrap into cash.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Listen to that voice. That's not even a shower voice. You can go on stage with that voice right now.
So.
Guys, welcome back. Coach Guys on set with me. Grace Youth Sport Director, is that correct?
Yes.
And how long have you been doing that?
For Grace, 9 years. And then before that, I was in Powell, so I've been coaching youth football for 16 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel your pain, Coach. I started coaching youth football in 2006.
Okay.
And I recently pulled out, but I still do a little dibble and dabble in sports here and there.
Yeah.
Wow. So how long do you have left?
Well,
before you answer that, I retired 5 years in a row.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
The last 4 or 5 years, I've always said, hey, this is probably going to be my last year. And then I think the conversation has gotten a little bit more serious this year because I picked up travel baseball with my youngest.
Yeah.
And that's about like running a business. I think that this may be the last ride, but we never know.
Yeah,
you know.
Absolutely.
I made an agreement. I coached my oldest son, who's 20. I started him when he was 8 and coached him all the way till he got to middle school. Actually, till he got to high school. And then I started back with my youngest. And that group I've had now that are in 5th grade, I've had them since they were 7. And I made a promise to them I would see them through at least till middle school till I could coach. And now that time's coming up, so now it's decision time, really.
Yeah. So your youngest, how old is he now?
He's 10.
10 years old. What position?
O-line, D-line.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a big boy.
Does he take care of business?
He thinks so.
Yeah.
I think he could do a little bit better. He's got his mom's aggression. He doesn't have his dad's aggression.
Okay. So, it'll come through.
It will.
It'll definitely come through. So, big decision was made with Grace.
Mm-hmm.
I heard 5-Star Preps was involved. Help me out. Who else? Triple F Elite was involved.
Yep. E2 Sports.
And E2 Sports.
Yep.
Starting their own youth football program?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
So, you know what I love about the run for president? Is debates, right? There's a lot of debating, right? That's my favorite part about it. Care either side, I don't care. I love debates. What happens in communities and on social media is people debate, but they don't have a solution. You guys have came up with a solution.
We believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more.
So we've been working on this for the past 3 to 4 months. And, in my years of being a director, it's always been what is the best opportunity and placement for the kids. And, for years it was Knox County Parks and Rec was the go-to, and there was nothing else. And then it kind of fizzled out a little bit over the past few years. And I know that the YAC formed a few years ago, and it seems to be going pretty strong. I know that VFL is going pretty strong. They've been around for a while. And we really couldn't find an exact home for where we felt good for Grace. And, we played the last 2 years in the Blount County Parks and Rec League. It's a really, really well-ran league. It's just, we decided on Grace's side that, Tuesday night trying to drive down to Heritage and get to a game at 6 o'clock was pretty difficult. I'd met with a few people, and then Spanky from Coalfield, we talked, and he was looking for a better opportunity. And so the past few months, we just brainstormed, and then I think about 2 weeks ago, we were like, hey, we really got to make a decision because we're running out of time. Registrations are opened, and so Jonathan Cox over at 5 Star really led the charge with getting Triple F on board, E2 on board, and we decided, hey, let's take what we know about how long we've been in this, and let's make it the best opportunity there is. We're going to do some Saturday morning games. We've got Coalfield and Grace are in it right now. We decided we couldn't launch it without at least a couple teams in it to make it solidified. And so we got those 2 teams locked in. We've got 3 or 4 more right now that are voting to join. But we wanted to make it something. We know the 5 Star brand has a good backing, a good following.
Yes.
Triple F, Lee Smith, what he does over there.
Yes.
He's going to come out August 2nd and do a sports combine for all the players for every team at once. They're going to do speed and agility stuff. So every kid gets to come out and train with them, work for a full day. Really good opportunity. And I don't know if you've heard Lee Smith talk. He came over and did a devotional one time 2 years ago for our Grace Youth program, and it was about 30 minutes long. And he covered the X's and O's of God and football at the same time. It was pretty neat.
Wow.
So he does good stuff over there. But it was just, we knew we had to find something, and we needed to get it going. And I know there's a bunch of leagues, and I don't think any of them necessarily are watered down. I just think that for us, we can't join the YAC because Grace is listed kind of as a private, which we really aren't. We're an open ministry to any community that wants to come play. I bet 50% of our kids go to Grace, and the other 50% are from around the communities. We use it as like a ministry outreach.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why when I got the opportunity to come to Grace and be the director, I was like, man, I got to take my faith in God and my love for football, and I got to put it in the same spot. I was like, sign me up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So and then Coalfield's joining us. We're happy to have them. I think it'll be a good thing. I think their community was looking for something better. We're going to try to do our best. We're not going to be perfect, but we're going to do our best to run it right. We had some talks back and forth about weight limits. Those are always a debate. What should be weight limits or there shouldn't be weight limits. I've been very passionate about a no weight limit league because the way I look at it is, Timmy over here that's 140 pounds, it's not his fault. So why does that kid got to spend his whole life in the trenches and never learn what it's like to run the ball?
Right.
When that kid hits puberty and gets into high school, he may be 6'2" and skinny and a heck of an athlete, but he won't have the training.
Right.
So, God made that kid a big kid. Why would we take an opportunity away from him to learn to carry the football? So what we did is we decided, liability reasons, you really can't say unlimited weights, but we bumped them up 10 or 15 pounds per each age division.
Nice.
So that we could give other kids opportunities to play something besides O-line and D-line.
Wow.
So
I got chill bumps. I wish I didn't have on short sleeves so you can see them because that's amazing. Like, I know a kid right now, and he probably has like 15 offers. Malik Howard, Oak Ridge Star, sophomore rising junior, always had to play in the trenches. Always been one of the best athletes out there, but always had to play in the trenches. The little league coaches always wanted him in the paint. This guy can pull up from 3 at any point. He's an inside-out guy. So to be able to do that and bump that weight limit up, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's phenomenal. And shout out to 5 Star Preps. They make sure that they get these kids recognized. That's what I do here. I try my best, but the platform that they have, it is astronomical, compared to, what I do here. And I do a lot of work here, and to have them involved, Triple F, E2 Sports, all that together. Grace has always been a great program.
Thank you.
Right? Love Grace, and I love me some Coalfield, right? Playing them back in the day, I couldn't stand them. But I always knew I had a fight on my hand. I always knew the community was going to come out and support them. And so that's a great thing. And we're missing Coach Spanky today, but we'll get him on the phone here in a minute. People they are looking for a way out. You said, and you was very nice about it, you said none of these programs are watered down. I don't have a negative show, and I don't talk bad about nobody.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah.
Some of these leagues are trash.
Yeah.
And I will not be a part of it, and that's another reason why I stopped coaching.
Yeah.
Some of these rules are trash.
Mm-hmm.
You can't teach Mickey Mouse football and expect them to be ready when they go to middle school.
Mm-hmm.
It just don't work that way.
Right.
A lot of rules are loosening up in some of these leagues, which shout out to you guys for doing that. But Mickey Mouse football shouldn't be allowed. You should be able to teach that. Well, when I coached ball, I don't care if there was 4- and 5-year-olds. I did high school drills. I just said they were games.
Yeah.
We're about to play this game.
Yeah.
Well, this game was the same drill that high school was doing or middle school was doing. The kids can do it.
Yep.
You have to put them in an environment that they're loving it and they're learning, and they will be able to pick up. So what is it going to take? Or what would you tell organizations out there today? What is it going to take to be a part of something that 5-Star Preps has their hand behind?
All they got to do is reach out to us and start the conversation. We've got a Facebook page, 5-Star Futures Football League. We've got an email, 5starfuturestn@gmail.com. Reach out to us. So what we're doing is we're saying we've got 3 divisions. We've got kindergarten and first. Mm-hmm. We've got 2nd and 3rd grade, 4th and 5th grade. What the difference is we're grade based. We're not age based anymore.
Amen to that.
Okay, we're basically taking the things that bothered us the most, and we've gotten rid of them.
Yes.
Rules, TSSAA rules, high school football rules.
Love it.
Stop clock games. There's not going to be drive 45 minutes to go play a 55-minute football game.
Right. And I did hear some of your games. A game was at Carson Newman. Is that right?
We are working on doing something there. I've talked to Jonathan about it, and then I didn't get a clear answer. But I think we're trying to do a jamboree or something up there. Could be wrong. He might call me after this and yell at me. But we've
come on, Cox.
Yeah, we're I know for sure we're doing a big preseason jamboree. Whether it's going to be there or at a high school, one or the other, but for sure we're going to do that. Another thing we're doing is, we've got those 3 divisions. We ask that any team that wants to join us has 2 out of those 3 age groups. And then it's a 3-year commitment. So you pay a $500 deposit. That tells us you're committed to us for 3 years. Mm-hmm. You stay for that 3rd year, and you get your $500 back.
How does a program, obviously money has to be made for a program to run. How does a program make money?
So you're going to host your games on Saturday. So say Coalfield comes to Grace to play on Saturday. There's 3 home games that are going to pop that Saturday. You're going to have that K through 1, 2 through 3, and 4 through 5. So you're going to have 3 home games. You keep the gate. You pay your refs out of the gate. You keep whatever revenue you have for your registration, the gate, and then concessions that day. And that's that team's money to keep.
On Grace's field?
No. So if Coalfield plays at Grace, Grace retains that money. And when we'll go play at Coalfield, Coalfield will retain that money.
Oh, so there will be home games?
It'll be home and home. You're playing on your school fields.
Well, wow. So I tell you what, guys. For many, many years, since 2016, in 2016, I started up a club called Tennessee Jays, 5-Star Preps. If you guys can help me gather some equipment, I'm joining the league. I'm bringing all age groups, and I'm bringing the best athletes to compete against Coalfield and Grace and whoever else wants that smoke, right? I'm Tennessee Jays. You count us in. Tennessee Jays, I will be the director of it. I won't be coaching. Parents, don't ask me. I'm not coaching.
He's coaching.
I coach the coaches. I will coach the coaches. But Tennessee Jays, I think we're going to, guys, we have to take a commercial break, but we're not done with this. We're going to get Coach Spanky on the phone when we come back, and we're going to talk a little bit about some more about this 5-Star Preps Football League, Tennessee Jays, flag football coming up. We got a lot more to cover in just a few minutes. We'll be right back.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Commercial Metals Company. Turn that scrap into cash.
If anyone knows the joy of rescuing animals, it's me. Just ask my rescues, who are all very important members of my family. Your life can also be forever changed by adopting a shelter pet. And it's not just about the happiness your pet gets from finding a loving home, but that which you'll get from bringing them into your life. The heroes at American Humane have been helping animals for more than 140 years. You can learn more at AmericanHumane.org.
In our community, everyone deserves access to quality health care. At the Free Medical Clinic, we offer no-charge medical services to those without insurance. There is never a bill at the Free Medical Clinic. From primary care, preventative care, diagnostics, and specialty care, our dedicated team is here to help. The Free Medical Clinic, taking your fear away from becoming sick or hurt. Go to fmcor.org to become a patient. Remember, there is never a charge for your care. fmcor.org.
Feeling overwhelmed with your business finances? At P&L Business Services, we handle all your bookkeeping, payroll, and tax needs. From federal tax returns to QuickBooks training, we've got you covered. With over 25 years of experience, we provide customized packages to fit your business. Focus on what you love most, building your business. Let us take care of the rest. Call 865-294-4792. P&L Business Services, empowering you to grow your business.
In life, there are things that suck, but we do them anyway. Family photo sessions with matching outfits suck, but we do it anyway. And you know what else really sucks? Getting screened for cancer. But you've got to do it anyway. Screening can save your life from cancer, or even help prevent certain types of cancer. For more information, visit GetScreenedForCancer.org.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
Welcome back to Exigent Sports. Exigent Sports is brought to you by Trinity Home Care and Consulting Services. If you work at a DOE plant and have illnesses or issues related to your employment, you could be eligible for benefits. Make sure you give them a call. That's 865-685-0942. And thank you, Trinity Home Care and Consulting Services, for sponsoring our show. Guys, we're back. Coach Guy, we got Coach Spanky on the phone. Coach Spanky, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, just sitting here recovering, but pretty excited to get this thing rolling.
Well, I'm excited to get it rolling, too. I don't know if you've been watching, but I told Coach Guy I'm calling out that I'm going to bring the Tennessee Jays along with you.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Hey, if we can find the funds together, get you some equipment, we can get it done.
Well, that's all I need is some equipment. We'll figure out field stuff and all that later on. I just need some equipment. I assure you I can get some players and some coaches to be a part of it. So tell me, Coach Spanky, you've been a part of a couple leagues here in the past, the few years. What was it that, pushed you over the edge and say, hey, we need something better for the community?
Well, the biggest thing was Coach Wood's been a part of the VFL League for the past few years. And it's great people over there, but it was just something that we needed to do as a youth club and as an organization. And this is the bad thing, because I coach middle school as well, and we're starting to see some of this. We've not had a cutter team in the past 2 seasons. And it's really starting to affect our middle school. So we had to sit back and look, hey, what can we do to address this? What are some concerns? And some of the concerns were not only travel, because we would have to travel to Tazewell, Cumberland Gap, all these other places, evening games. If you're traveling all the way to Tazewell, Cumberland Gap, you play at 5, 6 o'clock, your whole Saturday's done. And then the age division thing. It was kind of a big age gap there, and the way the VFL is, they have just a 5th and a 6th grade team, basically. And a small school like Cofield, we would almost never really compete with a 5th and 6th grade, because all of our 6th graders will be playing middle school. So it's just one of the concerns that we had, and we had to address it. But I'm actually happy to say that our sign-up numbers since we've made this announcement are up. And looks like we will have a cutter team this year, which is pretty exciting and awesome.
Man, that's awesome, Coach. I love that. You know, I'm a huge supporter of Cofield. I wish I had worn my hat. Coach God didn't bring me any swag. Why don't you tell him to bring me some swag, man?
I know I should have gave him an Iggy, but hey, look, if I was there, you know I'd have you some new Cofield.
I tell you what, earlier on I had lacrosse in, and they brought me a little bit of swag. I didn't share it, so I'm going to share it now. This was my Grace.
I'll get you hooked up.
Okay,
I'll take care of you.
This is Grace. I've wore it every day since, who was it that came in? I forgot who gave me this. But it was flag football, the youth flag football. Anyway, I can't think of it. But they brought me this, and I've wore it every day since. Not a day have I not wore it. Well, today, Bearden came in, Coach, and they brought me a new one. So I switched over. Now my keychain has the dogs on it. Go Dogs. Thank you, Coach, for bringing me that. But I'm excited about this, Coach Spanky. You talked about it, a few weeks ago. Say, hey, I got an idea for you to come on the show and talk about it. We're now announcing it. And what would you tell these other, teams? What would it take to be a part of it?
I'll say this. The biggest thing that I think the 5-Star Futures League offers, and it's exposure to not only these kids but communities as well. Mm-hmm. With the backing of 5-Star Preps and Triple F, that's some of East Tennessee's premier sports. All eyes are on them. Anything that 5-Star Preps or Triple F touches turns to gold.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a firm believer of that, and I'm a firm believer of getting our kids' names out there. Because, just like, me and you talk, it's sometimes, everybody wants to worry about the bigger schools, but it's always these smaller schools, smaller communities that don't get as much love, but they got as much gold in them as these bigger schools do. And I'm just excited about this league. We're not going to be your typical good boys and buddy league. We're going to try to run this thing the right way.
I love that. And you said it right, Coach. I would take there's a ton of kids I can take out of Cofield today and put them on a Bearden or Oak Ridge or Anderson County or Clinton, the big names of Catholics, the Webb. And those kids will shine like a light. There's no doubt about it because they have what it takes. And that's another reason why we do this show here, Coach, because I want to put faces to those names. They are deserving. They need to be recognized, and what you guys are doing is truly amazing. And I really hope that we can figure out a way that we can get a little bit of equipment to help me get started. I come up with the money for it. I do the 3-year deal, but I would love to be the first signed on third team to be a part of this league. I'm super excited about it.
Well, I'll tell you this. Luckily, I know a guy that works at a sporting goods store, so get the funds together. We can take care of that equipment part for you.
That's awesome. Absolutely. Well, Coach Spank, I appreciate you joining me here on the show. Matter of fact, why don't you just stay on the line? We got a few more minutes to go. I do want to talk about the hot topic right now. Hot topic right now is Tennessee Jays flag football. Tennessee Jays flag football, guys. It's an opportunity to play grades K through 8. The grades are almost just like what Coach God said. We have kindergarten first, second and third, fourth and fifth, but then we have 6th through 8th grade. Registration is only $40. It's going to be at Norwood Middle School in Alva Springs. Registration deadline is coming to a close, guys, May 19th. It's going to be 6 teams per age group, only 10 players per team. Season starts on June 7th, and we'll play every Saturday after that for the next 5 weeks. So June 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th, and then July the 5th we also play. You can contact me, 865-455-5153, or you can scan the QR code that you have right there on the screen and go ahead and get signed up. Again, registration fees are due by the 19th of May, and that's the end of registration. We've got to get everything ordered and brought in. Now, although this league, we will keep score, we will keep records of who's winning, and we will have a playoff and championship, this is a non-competitive league. So for you guys that are out there that are super competitive and hoorah, this is not what it's about. This is for an opportunity to get the centers to play quarterback, running back, wide receiver. This is an opportunity for a fun league in the summer to give these kids something to do. I don't want anybody to coach to lose. However, I don't want any kid not to have a chance that everybody else has. So if you're preparing for your season and you're super competitive, this might not be for you. I'm calling on those who's looking to have a good time, who are willing to coach a center to play quarterback, who's willing to coach a guard to play running back, who's willing to coach a tackle to play wide receiver. Like, everybody needs to come. And I'm not just talking about boys. This league is open up for boys and girls. The hot topic of today is Tennessee Jay's flag football. You can reach out to me on Facebook. I'm there, DJ Pendergrass. Scan the QR code right now. I'm there, and go ahead and get signed up. They won't ask for any money at the sign up, right? But somebody reach out to you. You pay Venmo, PayPal. You can pay cash or check. But again, non-competitive league, super fun. Working on hand-eye coordination, agility, and exercise for the summer, guys. We expect you to go ahead and get signed up. 6 teams per age group, 10 players per team. Can't wait to see you out. Coach Spanky, what you think about that flag football?
I think it's great. I think it's a great thing to do in the off season. It teaches, especially them younger ones. It helps teach your angles. It teaches many things on offense, catching, throwing, and that's kind of the big thing with it. I know. Around here in the South, it's let's get our pads on, hit somebody. But at the end of the day, there's more to football than just going in and hitting somebody. You got to work on form, angles, cutting, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Well, Coach Guy, I'll tell you what, once we get all the sign-ups ready, I'm going to invite Spanky and you out, and you guys can set up a tent and do sign-ups. How about that?
Absolutely.
Do some marketing for Grace and Cofield. Come on out to Norwood and, bring some jerseys and bring yourself some, and go ahead and promote your club, and let's get some people signed up on those teams, right? So that'll be a good thing.
Get those kids out of the video games on the field.
You know what? I could not out-thumb wrestle any of my kids because they have the strongest thumbs in the world. So let's talk about, guys, since you're here. We're excited about the new league that's coming up. Anybody have any questions? Reach out. What's the contact to reach out?
You can go to on Facebook page, message us directly, 5 Star Futures Football League. You can email us at 5starfuturestn@gmail.com.
Absolutely, guys. That is something to talk about. Age group, weight's going to be up a little bit. But the biggest thing is 5-star preps, right?
And they're going to provide media coverage as well during the season.
Come on, putting faces to the names of these youngins. Why not? Let's go ahead and get ranked. But while we're talking about, getting ranked and putting faces to names, a lot of turmoil is going on with the high school transfer portal. Coach Guy, tell me how you feel about the transfer portal and NIL. We have about 1 minute.
I think I think that goes along kind of with the vouchers thing in a way, where you get the one-time transfer. I think, if a kid's not happy at a school, I agree with it. I think, but if it's actively coming from a coach to try to pull a kid from a school, I disagree with it. So,
I like that.
That's kind of what it is.
That.
Yeah, I just, I think if it comes to a recruiting thing, which we know it's going to become that, I disagree with it. But, you got kids that, he may love a sport or whatever, and he's not going to have an opportunity there. Why not go somewhere else and get an opportunity? I mean, coaches leave every day for new jobs. Why can't kids?
Yeah, I love that. And that's exactly how I feel about it. There's a kid that's playing on a team that's very talented, and he can play both ways. However, the person in front of him is really talented, and they're in the same grade. And unless that player gets hurt, he's probably not going to get a lot of playing time where they can go somewhere else and actually enjoy and love the game and play and get an opportunity. Whether they get a scholarship or not, they can do what they love and actually play the game instead of being on the sideline. Coach Spank, I got about 15 seconds. What do you think about the transfer rule and NIL?
I think the transfer rule, it's one of them things. I'm all for wherever the kid wants to go, let them go. At the end of the day, we just want kids being happy and just playing. That's kind of my big thing with it is I think as long as it's done right and people take the right steps, I'm all for it.
Well, one thing about it, we know nobody's leaving Cofield, so.
No, we don't have that a whole lot.
You locked and loaded.
We have people coming here that
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, we appreciate you joining here on Exigent Sports. Go ahead and make someone aware. Please share. Shout out to CJ in the back, Brad Jones. Guys, I'm Coach DJ Pendergrass here on Exigent Sports every Wednesday. And until next Wednesday, have a blessed night.